Hey everyone, it's Tay. Yes, like I said, I am a trans woman, and if you don't like that, you know where the door is. Please don't let it hit along the butt on the way out. This is a roundup of my monthly achievement hunts. Not sure where the camera lens is. Can't see. Yeah. I know your minds. So, sorry folks, I just lost track of myself. Right, we are going to take a look at my roundup of the achievements that I have been hunting just lately. So, let's take a look at what I've been up to. Okay, I know what you're thinking, Tay. Why are you playing the Barbie game? Is this some sort of trans thing? No, it's not. This was purely out of curiosity, because you see, sometimes when you go back to the older games, especially licensed games like this, they tend to be rather strange. And especially with Barbie, where it's going to mix up so many different genres, you have to kind of take a look. Trust me, it's a PlayStation game that I thought was going to be a rip-off of Tomb Raider that ended up being a rip-off of Crash Bandicoot. We'll get to that at some point. This, however, is a little bit more simpler. I don't think I'm showing any here, but this is mostly a memory game. So you saw the catwalk section there, you had to remember button prompts to complete the runway walk at the end. There's pictures where you have to try and match, so this one's kind of focused on memory. Being somewhat older, memory bits are a little bit tricky and hard, because the hardest achievement in this game, which I haven't got yet, is basically to get a perfect run where you score all the points so you can barely make any mistakes. So yeah, kind of interesting, kind of fun. We may revisit, we may not, I'm not sure yet. Right, speaking of games that I'm not going to revisit, this is Burnout. This is the original Burnout, and yeah, I'm going to be brutally honest and say I am not coming back to this one. It's very much very early Burnout. So I first played Burnout with Takedown, which is Burnout 3, and went on from there. If that's what you're used to, this is very basic, and there's very little in common with this that there is in the later games. So there's no takedowns, the tracks are really long, and it's 3 laps, they take forever, and you can lose so easily. I mean, that was always the case kind of in Burnout anyway, but still, this one just did not pull me in and just felt like a slog. There's not much going on here, and yeah, if you're achievement hunting, maybe you could do this one, but honestly, you're gonna want to start with at least Burnout 3, maybe Burnout 2, possibly, but I'd say start with 3, because that's the most fun one. And yeah, Burnout 1, yeah, not as much fun. So with playing the sequel last time, I kind of dipped my toe into playing some Donkey Kong this time around. And you know what, I'm kind of glad I did. Lots of fun achievements here. Iron Man, for example, is basically do the first loop without dying. Because again, like Donkey Kong Jr., this is all based on loops. So, kind of fun way of doing things. I do enjoy it. It, to me, is basically for getting points to get an extra life, which you are going to need, because I will say, unlike Donkey Kong Jr., where the difficulty seems to be a gradual build-up, this one gets tough pretty quick. It's not an easy game to get to grips with. So don't worry, I won't be challenging Billy Mitchell for his score anytime soon, because I'm competent at this at best. Do not let the highlights fool you. These are the good moments. You don't get to see the bad moments where I sucked. Plumbing at speed, I think that's one for basically finishing the game like Donkey Kong Jr., where you have the bonus at the top. You have to get there with a set amount, and you'll get the achievement for that. I do tend to find the level design is really pretty well simple. It's challenging enough. This is like the final zone, and it's pretty obvious that what you've got to do is walk over the pegs so it drops, and sometimes it's just where the enemies fall. It helps you out. Sometimes it's not too difficult to just remember to jump. This one I think is Fashionista. Yes, so that's basically for collecting all the bonus items around the map. Like here, couldn't do that, jump over that. I was just waiting to see where that one goes and just time the ladder climbs. There's something wonderfully simple about Donkey Kong. It is from that era of, older. Oh, there I go, dying. Told you I wasn't very good. Oh, and this is Donkey Kong Jr., and this is just the final one of the final achievements of this. I did 100% Donkey Kong, and this was a 2-hit combo. Fluked it, got it, I'll take it. But yeah, both these games have that wonderfully simplistic design that just keeps you coming back for more. for those of you who don't know, I mod for the son of Jazzy, who is another achievement hunter. He specialises in doing grinds. I tend to hunt achievements. I don't tend to do full-on grinds and go for 100% because I have ADHD, so often I lose focus. So sometimes hence why you see so many different games popping up on the channel. But he'd recently done a grind on Farcry 3, which got me jonesing to play it, and because I couldn't be buggered to try and set up another alternative account on my Xbox, which I've since now done because that was a whole headache in itself, I popped in PlayStation Plus for a month and downloaded Farcry 3 to have a playthrough and just see how I felt going back to this, because this is where the Far Cry really becomes what you know as Far Cry. Far Cry 1's its own beast, Far Cry 2's its own beast, but this, Far Cry 3, is what you know as that Ubisoft formula, you know, the climbing the towers to reveal the map, doing the hunts to get upgrades to your weapon, more weapons, more ammo, carrying things like that. And of course, it has Vaas, and Vaas is definitely one of the better. Unfortunately, he's a sub-villain, although he really should be a main villain, because at first I disagreed with Jazzy, but actually playing the game, yeah, I agree that the main villain, is it Vought? I can't even remember now, is Vaas, and he's nowhere near as good. So yeah, I went back to this, and I really enjoyed how this game opens. Now, bearing in mind, I can't stand the main character, I can't stand his friends, I can't stand any of them, but this game has a really well done and well thought out setup. So it goes to the intro that gives you the setup that these are spoiled rich kids that end up doing all this crazy stuff and end up on this island because they think it's going to be a fun time, only it's a setup for them to be kidnapped. That's revealed in a video on a phone that's then being helped by Vaas, who then, you know, buggers off, and then you go through the slight tutorial with your brother. You know, it's the tutorial. It's a really it's a really good way of incorporating the tutorial in without it standing out, because the tutorial is it's a mission. It is you escaping from the bad guys, and then your brother's killed, which then sets up the story. And here we had me running away to get the opening achievement, which is basically just, you know, complete the opening of the game. But I do genuinely enjoy how this game sets itself up to go. Like I said, I don't really give two shits about the antagonists, protagonists at all, because they're spoiled rich kids. We're in a day and age now. I mean, we didn't care about them back then, but what really helps is the fact it's basically a sandbox game like Just Cause, where it goes, here's a big open world where you can do all this crazy kind of stuff, here's a load of guns and ammo, here's some places to go and do things, have at it, go have fun. And yeah, it really works. Did the formula get treaded out and tired really quickly? Yes, because you go from this, then you get, is it Blood Dragon after this? And then there's 4, and then there's Primal, and then there's 5, and then we're up to 6. And 6, you know, a lot of people did not get on with 6 and lost interest fairly quickly. So, you know, maybe it's time to put Far Cry to rest for a little bit. But it's Ubisoft, they won't do that. They like to, you know, make these an annual series, and I think there's only so much you can do. Yes, we've moved on, like 5 dropped the tower requirements, and that's gone into 6, and 6 then introduced this really stupid system of different ammos doing different things, which is just not fun. Because this moment here, I'm heading towards doing a hunting achievement, but just the immersive, not immersive, the cathartic gameplay that happens. Oh, here's some guards as I'm on the way to the area where I need to hunt a certain animal. Well, let's just take these out because it's one distracting with a rock. Oh, can I, then you start challenging yourself. Can I do it stealthily? Oh, I'm going to do it with takedowns. Let's throw a rock, let's creep up behind them and see what happens. You know, that is where the Far Cry games really do shine for me, where you can have this cathartic experience of just crazy things happening. You time things right and just madness happens. And yeah, that's what makes them shine. This is probably one of the early examples of it. I think personally, from a gameplay point of view, 5 is my favourite. Not story-wise. Unfortunately, I find the story is kind of pants, really. It has its shock value moments, but immersive gameplay, emergent gameplay, that's the words I was looking for, emergent gameplay, it's kind of better than that. Whereas it's definitely got its moments. I don't think I've got any footage of it. The amount of times I just got randomly taken out by predators is really annoying. Those leopards just come out of nowhere and just ruin your day. Doesn't matter how much health you've got, they will ruin your day really quickly. So like I said, this is actually for a hunting achievement, but you wouldn't know it because I was going to the area I think I was just trying to hunt just so I could get the upgrades. And yeah, I just keep running into the bad guys, so you start taking them on, don't you? Because that's what you do, hey, they're there. And like I said, it just feeds into little things where it's like, oh, can I do with takedowns? Here, for example, I've taken those two down, think I'm safe, and all of a sudden, two guys from down the road pop up and just want to, just spoil my fun. Not to say it's not just the standard, two-legged enemies that will do that. Like I was saying, the leopards, the monitor lizards, whatever. I'll say it in a minute. The thing that I actually end up getting the achievement with will all ruin your day. And the amount of times I've been hunting some sort of, one of the herbivores, and it's like, yeah, I'll get that. A tapir, that was it. I was hunting tapirs because I needed it for one of the upgrades. And the amount of times, for some reason, where the tapirs were, tigers would spawn in, and it's like I was so focused on hunting the tapir that the tiger would get me, and it's just like it could really ruin your day. I try not to swear these videos as much as I can. Admittedly, if you don't like violence against animals, these games definitely aren't for you, because hunting is not optional. It is forced upon you because it is how your upgrade system works, especially in this one. Although I do miss, I think it's Farcry 4 that brings it in, where once you've skinned an animal, you also get bait. And the ability to throw bait into some of the camps while you hunt, when you want to take over these outposts, and you can throw bait in there and let the wildlife do the hard work for you, it was such a nice feature. And kind of plays into the fact that you're using everything in your environment to your advantage, whereas this, it's just you kill an animal for its skin, and the only reason you're doing it is so you can carry more ammo, more weapons, and you've got to, because you can't. I mean, you probably theoretically could do it without upgrading, but it's not fun and you would struggle. So being able to carry more weapons is definitely to your advantage, because you want to carry a handgun. You're going to want to carry something for close quarters. You're going to want to carry something for long range, and then you're going to want explosives, just because of the way the game sets itself out and the things that you have to do. So you are forced to do that, and I understand that people don't like that, and yeah, I get it. But in the whole, after playing so much of this, and I didn't finish it, I lost interest. I had to kind of agree with Jazzy that this one didn't really hold up as well as I thought it would have done. It'd be interesting perhaps going on to 4 to see if that one's a bit better, because like I said, they introduced a few more mechanics there that just work a little bit better and just help out more, like the throwing the bait and stuff, and being able to use the animals as weapons to help the emergent gameplay. But alright, that was Far Cry 3. Let's move on to the next game. I've said it before and I will say it again, I absolutely adore the bones out of the Final Fight series. So it was quite a surprise to me to find out that there was a version on the NES, because I always thought it was an arcade machine or it was on the SNES, but no, it was available on NES in a slightly different form, as you can tell. So this is Mighty Final Fight, and this is, I guess the best way to describe it is a chibi art style, as opposed to more the pixel art style that you'd be familiar with the original Final Fight series. But it's all there. There's Thrasher, and there's Cody, and guys in there, and so yeah, it's it was quite a surprise to me to find out that you could get a Final Fight on the NES. It's not a hack, it was an official release, and I thought it would be easy, but it's actually kind of difficult. I really struggled, especially with the bosses, and I can't quite work out what the heck's going on with the leveling system down the bottom. So you can get up to about 5 levels with your characters. I assume that makes them a bit stronger. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, and the special moves are in there, and the combo moves are in there. But yeah, it's tough. I do manage to eventually defeat Thrasher. I think I found out the easiest way was jump kick. Yes, that was it. Yeah, you can see me there. I was like, yeah, jump kick, jump kick, jump kick. This is the way we do it. We kick your ass by jumping and kicking you. That was well and fine until I got to Sodom on the next stage, and yeah, that plan just did not work at all. So, yeah, fun game. I mean, if you like the brawling style games, this is definitely better than, say, Double Dragon. on the NES. I mean, Double Dragon's fine on the NES, but it's famous for only having like 2 characters on screen at one time. For this, you do get multiple characters, you get your boss fights in here, and it kind of stays true to the Final Fight game itself. But I'll be honest, if you've got the choice between playing, I mean now especially with this one, but if you've got the choice between playing Final Fight on the SNES and Final Fight on the NES, you're going to take the SNES version, because that's what you played in the arcade, whereas this is an interpretation, shall we say, of Final Fight. Whereas nowadays, I mean, we're absolutely spoiled, because you can pick this up, you can pick Final Fight up in the Fight Collection on PC and consoles, so you can play an arcade perfect port of the original Final Fight. But, you know, we're not here to talk about those, we're not achievement hunting those, we're achievement hunting over here on Mighty Final Fight, and I think I will come back to this one just purely because it's a curiosity to me, just because, you know, I'm so familiar with playing, oh, hey look, this one doesn't censor things, there's Poison, and Roxy is also in this, so yeah, you get Poison and Roxy in this, whereas Final Fight 1 on the Game Boy Advance switched them out to different characters for reasons, and of course, being trans, I am got a very big soft spot for Poison, who is complicated history at some point. We might talk about Poison. Is Poison trans? Is Poison not trans? I don't know. She's a cool look, she's a cool character, and I suck at playing at her in Street Fighter. That's a whole different conversation for another day, but yeah, I love Poison. I think Poison's a great design, and it's nice to see her in here. Just like I said, really weird that with Final Fight 1 on the Game Boy Advance, they took her out and replaced her with 2 male characters, well, her and Roxy. But the NES version didn't. And the whole thing was something to do with the fact that they thought it was too violent. It was too much violence against women, I think it was. I'm trying to remember an article I read a couple months back, so yeah. And they're here in this one. Weird, don't get it, but hey, logic and video games, not always the best of friends. Speaking of which, Sodom, I do not beat this guy. This guy is irritating in the standard game, he's just as irritating in this game. He's a massive weeb and deserves to get his butt kicked, and somehow this guy got into Street Fighter. I don't know how, but he got into Street Fighter. He's in the Alpha series. But oh well. Anyway, that was Mighty Final Fight for the NES. Curio, definitely a curious one, but yeah, kind of fun. And we're back doing some more Super Mario Brothers, because yeah, there's so many achievements for Super Mario Brothers that it'll never be done. This is for, I know, another shortcut. This is for fighting, obviously, the World Warp in World 4-2. I think I talked about this last time. This is just the one that boots you over to World 5, so you're actually getting the NAFA of the two warp zones in this level. You really want to get the more hidden one. Right, this is Oh Brother Where Art Thou. This one took a little bit of work to get. This is for getting one of the Hammer Brothers to move out of position and chase you. Obviously using the Superstar and the Fire Flower there just to shift them out, well, get rid of one and try and get this guy to shift out of the way. And yeah, I'll be honest, I had to look up a guide how to do this, and it was pretty much stand on this pipe. Actually, I think in the video they had more room and could drop down behind the pipe. But yeah, eventually the Hammer Brother will get bored and come and chase you. But it takes a little while, because I know I'm just stood here going, come on, stop throwing the hammers. So want to cut in Tank Tomlinson there and just have hammer. But yeah, this Hammer Brother just did not want to do what I wanted him to do, but he did in the end, and finally, Oh Brother Where Art Thou? Just bopped him on the head and move on. But yeah, a little bit of a tough one, but plenty more. See, that's the kind of achievements I do like, and this is another good one. This is overweighted, so this is basically these weighted pulleys. You've got to try and get it to drop off to get the achievement. And yeah, that's again different way of encouraging you to play the game and sort of testing your nerve, because you know, how closely do you want to stay on there and just tempt the fate and fall to your doom. But yeah, again, I like that achievement. I like the achievement in Oh Brother Where Art Thou. This is for Master Plumber, so I don't really have to go into too much detail on this one. But yeah, no, I like those achievements that make you think about the way you play the game and just adjust things accordingly. So, you know, can I play this in a different way? Oh, I've never thought of trying to do this technique. Let me try and do it this way. So again, I do like those, and I think they are really good at encouraging you to play the games in different ways. Which, you know, that's a good side of achievements. Downside, like I think I've mentioned before with retro achievements, is because a lot of the time they're created by people that know these games inside and out, some of them can seem overly tough or overly hard to accomplish, but that's kind of where you get with a lot of achievements, whether it be community driven or whether it's via your standard achievements. Sometimes some of them can seem impossible. Forgive my use of English, wording hard. I'm not into the difficulty achievements. Finish this game on stupidly hard difficulty. I say that knowing full well at some point I am going to tackle Call of Duty Modern Warfare and get the veteran achievement, because yeah. So shell shock for just bashing shells together. Fun. Again, it makes you think about how you play the game. And I noticed in my comments on the last video, a lot of you really enjoy the fact that these older games from your childhood now have achievements and you can go and replay these games. And I tell you what, nostalgia is a cow. She bit me in the arse because I thought, I know what, my first game I'm going to do is Super Mario Brothers, and just finding out that they're not all the achievements are hard, but they are challenging, and if you want a challenge, they're definitely there for you. The Master Plumbers are great, or the ones where you're going through and getting the pacifist achievements. Some of the harder ones are like completing an entire world without dying and collecting every coin on the level. Now, if you're not familiar with retro achievements, all my achievements that you see are played on hardcore mode, which basically means no cheats, so no cheats from the emulators and no using save states. So that's why they're called hardcore achievements. You can get the achievements without it, but I'm just, the hardcore mode is basically getting the achievements in the way you would, say, a regular game. So yeah, I like that. Right, I think that's it for now for Super Mario Brothers. Okay, I'm going to apologise for the jankiness of some of this footage in advance because, I was still working out how to get good quality footage. And hey, look, something a bit newer. Yes, this is Tekken 7. I am not the best when it comes to fighting games, and one of the things I wanted to do this year was try and get better at fighting games. So I picked myself up Tekken 7 because, well, Tekken 8 had come out and this was cheap. And this was basically the complete edition with all the DLC. So I was flirting around and trying to find my character, and look, can I just say, vampire, goth-looking character? Of course I wanted to play this one. Turns out I sucked, so I moved on. But yeah, again, most of the achievements that we're going to see pop up here for the first two are very basic stuff, defeating or blocking homing attacks, crushing attacks, things like that. So again, standard kind of achievement fare of learning how the game works. But again, I've got to say, this game is absolutely gorgeous, and Tekken's one of the fighting games where I'm competent at. I won't say I'm great at, but I'm better at it than some of the others. And the fact that one of the characters' customizations here, I think this is Jose, has a Bullet Club shirt. I love wrestling, and this character has a Bullet Club shirt. And this is online, and I just upset them because I blocked their rage attack, and I felt very smug at this, and then smacked their face into the floor for a win. Yeah, this was a player match I was really happy to, I think this is a ranked one, so I was really happy to get this victory. Unranked turned out to be a lot harder, because in Unranked, you can go up against anybody and you will get your butt kicked. So they can be the best Tekken 7 player and you will just get your butt whooped. So, but yeah, I had a lot of fun, and I just loved the spectacle of fighting games. So much so that I'm working on something in the background, a future video where I take a look at the history of fighting games. So keep your eyes open for that on the channel at some point. But yeah, not much to say. I love Tekken 7. I love Tekken. It's over the top. The character designs are great. And here's King with a fish. Love it. Thank you very much for joining me on my monthly roundup. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Remember to leave me a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and thumbs up the video if you did like it. I have been Tay. I will see you again next time. Thank you very much. And transphobes, don't let the door hit you on the backside on the way out. Shoo shoo.